one more thing. Up to this moment, we have done 3 quizzes. Okay, so 2 more to go. Fourth one, I'll give you next day, which means Wednesday. Okay, because it's just 2 left. I'll tell you. I'll give you this day, so you can remember that. Okay, Wednesday. Clear? Right. Either in person or via Zoom. That's fine. Right. Last day I was talking about, last Wednesday I was talking about 1V C test, 1V C test for hypothesis testing. This is the last one, left tail test. So I think I explained this, but I didn't go through this. Anyway, let me remind you a few things that you can use critical value approach or p-value approach to do this hypothesis testing. It is your choice unless they have mentioned it. Okay. So first thing is you have to mention what is H naught and HA, alternative and null and alternative hypothesis. Find what is X bar, find what is sigma if they have given, then find the significant level alpha. Based on your side of the test, which means 2 tail or 1 tail, you have to find, you have to decide, you have to decide whether you use a critical value approach or p-value approach, and based on that you have to do few changes. Anyway, this third step is you need to calculate your test statistic. Okay, although you use p-value approach or critical value approach, you have to use, you have to come up with these 3 steps. Finally, you have to find the test statistic. Then you can decide whether you use critical value or p-value approach. Based on that, here this one based on critical value approach. Okay, so you need to find, you have C value here, C naught, using the test statistic value. Then you need to find the critical value there, the C value. After that, you have to compare your critical value and your C naught value. Based on that, you can take your decision, either reject H naught or do not reject H naught. Okay, if you use p value, same, first 3 they are same. Next step is you have to find the probability of, okay, or p value of what, your this value, p value of this C naught value. Convert this C naught value to a probability value. Okay, then according to like one tail test or 2 tail test, find your p value. Okay, if it is a 2 tail test, 2 times delta. Remember that. If it is left tail, p value equals delta. If it is a right tail test, p value equals 1 minus delta, something like that. Okay, then you can compare these 2 probability values, p value and alpha, significant level. Based on that, you can take your decision, either reject H naught or do not reject. Clear? So this is the process, no more, no less. That's the process. Here in this 9.4 section 9.4, I told you, sigma or population standard deviation, or simply it's given. Okay, what happen if you don't know sigma? Okay, assume that you don't know sigma, so that you cannot use this approach, which means if you don't know sigma, you cannot use one mean C test. You cannot use that. Instead of that, you can use another test. We will talk about in next section 9.5. Okay, but check these notes. I think it's like a summary. Read the question carefully. This is always you should do. Okay, identify the key facts. As I mentioned, less than, greater than, you can identify using those keywords. Okay, always okay, let me always if you find the keyword, the alternative hypothesis, which side, whether it is less than, greater than, or not equal, right hand side always your mu naught, left hand side is always your mu. This is your mu naught. That's how you can easily figure it out. What is your mu naught? Do you know what is mu naught? That the given this one in your hypothesis testing. H naught is always mu equals mu naught. HA based on your problem. In this case, less than mu naught. So this fixed value, that's what I call mu naught. So always this sign is going to be like less than, greater than, or not equal. Only three cases. Always right hand side of that guy you can find the mu naught, either value or explanation of that. What is this mu naught? Left hand side always it mentions your mu, which means what is the population mean. Population mean. That's how we easily identify what is mu and what is mu naught. Okay, this is just one way. Clear? Right. Okay. So based on the alternative hypothesis, identify your test, whether it is left, right, or two-tail. Find the solution based on critical value approach or p-value approach. Only one. Okay, either this one or this one. Should know, yeah, you should know both of these, critical and p-value. Clear? So that's about section 9.4. So 9.5. This is the last section of this chapter. In this case, process is, exactly similar to 9.4, but this case you don't know sigma. As I mentioned, you don't know sigma. Sigma is unknown, so that you cannot use C test, or simply we call one mean C test. You cannot use C test. Okay, yeah, but we can use another test. You already know that. Instead of C table in chapter 8, we use another distribution. What was it? T. Remember? So we are going to replace this C, using T. Okay. So this we call 9.4. We were dealing with hypothesis testing under population standard deviation is known, sigma known. Okay, so we use one sample C test, or one mean C test. In this case, we don't know sigma unknown. So instead of C test, we use one mean T test. So we replace C stuff using T stuff. That's the idea. Okay. All other processes like critical value approach, p-value approach, they are exactly same. Okay. Right. One mean one sample T test, or one mean T test. Based on the tail, again you have three cases: left tail, right tail, or two tail. Doesn't matter. This alternative and null hypothesis, they are same. They are exactly same. Okay. Always null, mu equals mu naught. Based on the tail, two tail or one tail. Okay. In this one mean T test, we use standard population standard deviation unknown and sample size less than 30. That's the place we are using T distribution. So in this case, yes, we use T, one mean T test if our sigma is unknown and sample size less than 30. Okay. Okay. If sigma unknown but sample size greater than 30, I'll let you know at the end of this part, this section. Okay. Okay. Test statistic. Now we have test statistic. T naught. We call this one T naught or T cal. Doesn't matter. Same as C naught, C cal. This is how you can calculate your test statistic. T equals this piece exactly similar as your C case, C test, but down below here, numerator, sorry, denominator, it is S instead of sigma. Do you remember in C naught, how did we calculate it? X bar minus mu naught divided by sigma over square root of n, right? Section 9.4. Section 9.4. This is how we calculate C naught, C cal. But here, see, you have to replace sigma using S because we don't know sigma. Simply we replace it by S. That's the only difference. Okay. Right. So they have mentioned what are these taken from H naught, mu naught always taken from H naught. S is the sample standard deviation. Don't forget about that. X bar always sample mean, n is the sample size. Right. Difference between C test and T test. There are no many differences, but you can see here they are very similar. There are few differences. Okay. Still, you can use critical value approach or p-value approach, but the table is different. Here you have to use T table. Here you have to use T table. That's it. Okay. One means C test. Same thing. See, we use C table, but here we use T table. Either critical value approach or p-value approach, doesn't matter. You have to use T table. Okay. Test statistic. How do we calculate? So we replace population standard deviation using sample standard deviation. Population 1 sigma, sample standard deviation is S. So we replace sigma using S, sample standard deviation. That's the difference. Okay. Okay. So these are the rejection, decision criterion. Reject H naught in one mean T test. Since you know the process, I have just summarized what we need to know in this T test. Critical value approach. Okay. If you are using critical value approach, not the first one, second row. If you are using critical value approach, if it is a two-tail case, then again you have to use what? Test statistic value. If test statistic value greater than T alpha over 2 or less than T alpha, a negative T alpha over 2, you have to reject, which means simply it's like this. Something like this. Okay. This is not the this is not the C distribution. This is a T distribution. Okay. Whatever I have colored here, it is your rejection region. Okay. This is your rejection region. So your test statistic somewhere here or somewhere here, you have to reject it. Okay. Same here. This is left tail. So your rejection region is this part. If your test statistic somewhere here, you have to reject it because it is in the rejection region. Same thing applied to here. This is right tail. Your test statistic in this colored area, right hand side, you have to reject your H naught. Same decision criterion. Okay. Right. I'm talking about this value because this is critical value. So this value on the T axis. Next, p-value approach. Same way how you calculate it. If it is a two-tail test, you have to find the area to the right to the test statistic multiplied by 2. 2 times delta is your p-value. Okay. Same thing if it is a left tail test, area to the right. If it is a right tail test, Previous one left tail, yes. This one right tail test, delta, 1 minus delta. Okay. Same decision criterion, p-value less than significant level, then you reject if it is a left tail test. If it is a right tail test, again, p-value less than significant level. Always less than significant level, you have to reject your S0 if you are using p-value approach. But if you are using critical value approach, you have to stick with these three different cases. Okay. Let's do a few examples. How to find critical value? Okay, this is not example. This is something like how to find the critical value. Okay, so if you remember, you need degrees of freedom (df) to find the value in T table. Okay, find the value in T table. This is your degrees of freedom (df). Here as well, same value. First row, this means this guy. Title row, it mentions your probability values or area, T alpha. These values are T alpha values, or T alpha or whatever, doesn't matter, T alpha values. Okay, those are the probability values. Those are the area under the T curve. Whatever inside, whatever in this body or this part, sorry, this part, those are T values. These are T values. These are T values. Those are not area. Okay. Can you see the difference between C table and T table? In the C table, in this body part, you can find the areas. But here, in the body, you can find T values. That's why those values are like 31 point something, huge values when you are comparing with the C table. Okay. But the first row, this one, it gives you the probability value, area under the curve. Not like in C table, they have only few options. 0.1, 0.05, 0.025, something like that. There are only five options. Okay. Okay. If you know the degrees of freedom, what's the value of degrees of freedom? Always you can find n-1. That's always true. And the significant level, you can find any T value. Okay. Let's assume that degrees of freedom is 4 and alpha is 0.05. So I can write it T 0.05 comma 4. 4 is the degrees of freedom. This is df. This is your alpha. Okay. That's the order. First alpha, next degrees of freedom. So you can simplify where is this T 0.05. T 0.05, it is here. See this column. Next, you have to find where is this degrees of freedom. It is 4, this one. So you can find this intersection point. This is your T 0.05 comma 4 value. Okay, it is 2.13. This is how we find it. Okay, although it is T alpha over 2, doesn't matter, same process. Okay, clear? Right. So what is the difference between C table and this T table? In this T table, always they take the measurements to the right. See, to the right. But C table always starting from left hand side to some point to the left. Okay. So, okay. This one. Right. Two-tail case. Two-tail test. Mu not equal mu naught. Steps are pretty similar, I think. Yes. If you are using, let me consider if you are using p-value approach or critical value approach. Right. If it is a two-tail test, you know your alpha. First, figure it out what is the alpha. Then find alpha over 2. Okay. After that, find the T alpha over 2 with degree of freedom. Okay, those two values are these values right here. One is positive, the other one is negative. Same case, positive and negative, same value but different signs. Degrees of freedom n minus 1. So you can find T alpha over 2 comma df, okay, from the table. So that value belongs here, positive 1 here, negative 1 here. Okay, negative take found in 3. Yes, found in 3. See, positive and negative, these two, third step and fourth step, they are same steps. If it is left tail test, yes, the same thing. You have to find the T alpha, not T alpha over 2. Now it is T alpha. Value is negative because it is left tail. So value is negative. There are no positive negative values in the T table. You have to decide whether it is positive or negative. Okay, see, in this table there are no negative or positive values, just positive values. Right tail test. If you are using critical value approach, find alpha, then refer the T table to find T alpha, which means this one T alpha df, this value right here. Okay, this is about critical value approach. I mean, find the critical value. Okay, we have to find the critical values. I think I have explained everything in step by step, but let me pick one or two and I'll explain it. Then rest of examples you can go through later. Okay, just focus on the first one. I'll do the first one. All others are very similar. This is your, okay, n is this much, 15. This is a left tail test with 5% significant level, which means this is your alpha. Alpha is 0.05. Clear? So if you need to find the critical value, this is only about critical value. How do you find it? You have to find T alpha. This is a left tail test. So you have to find T alpha over 2, comma, sorry, not 2, sorry, it is alpha, comma, degrees of freedom, right? Which means T 0.05, comma, n minus 1. df is n minus 1. So it is 14. Clear? You have to find this. Since this is left tail test. Clear? Okay. Right. Let me use this one. First one. See, left tail test. So you have to color the left tail of this distribution. You need to find this guy. Since it is a left tail, first find the value and put the negative sign. It's going to be a negative value. That's it. Okay. So value is, check this one, T 0.05, comma, degree of freedom is 24. Okay, df n minus 1. It is 25 minus 1. It is 24. So 24 you can find here. Alpha 0.05. So T alpha is this one. Your value is this value. It is positive in the table, but your test based on left tail test. So you have to put it negative. Value is 1.711, but this is a left tail test. So please assign negative sign. Final answer is negative 1.711. Okay. Value, see, and the table value is positive because there are no negative or positive values, just positive values you can find in this table. Based on your test, you have to add positive or negative, that sign. Yeah. So in this case, critical value is negative 1.711. It's not positive, this one. If this is right tail test, then value is positive. Okay, then value is positive because your tail this side. So that at that point your value is positive. Clear? So this is the way how we write it. If it is, since it is negative, put the negative sign in front of the t, so that you know it is negative. Okay. Right tail test. Okay, just check this one. So degree of freedom is 9, alpha is 0.1. So you have to find this one. Since this is positive, your value going to be, t value going to be a positive value. In the table, t value here, this one. Degrees of freedom, this one. Right? So value is this one. Since this is right tail test, your answer is positive. Same value. Okay? Clear? Right? Okay. Don't think too much. This is very similar to C, but to know the difference between C and T tables, here we are dealing with positive values only. So at the time, if you need to find, not the find, if you need to use negative values, you have to put the negative sign in front of the value. Okay, because there are no negative values. Okay. So remember this: if it is left tail, always your value is negative. Okay, since left tail always negative, if it's a two tail, left value always negative. Okay, right. What else we have? So please check these. There are only 3 examples: 1, 3, and 5. 1, 3, and 5. Okay. Any questions? So for the final exam, definitely I can guarantee you will be having questions in chapter 9. That is a must. Okay, I have to add. I think in the model, I mean, I cannot change the structure as I mentioned. I think he will add more questions in chapter 9 and 8. Okay. Steps. You already know these steps. So when sigma is unknown, state your null and alternative hypothesis. Based on your alternative hypothesis, you will be having 3 cases. I mean, at a time 1. It can be a two tail, left tail, or right tail. So these are the null and alternative hypothesis based on side of the tail. Okay. Step number 2 is find the alpha. First, figure it out what is your alpha. Then compute to a test statistic T naught, or simply we call T cap. Doesn't matter, T cap or T naught, using this formula right here. Use either critical value approach or p-value approach to take your decision. I mean, simply find critical value or p-value and take your decision. Reject H naught or do not reject H naught. Finally, interpret your results or interpret your approach. What you have, not what you have done, what you get from this comparison. Okay, let's do this example. Programming ability, and the mean for the test has been 160 in the past. Okay, 25 job applicants. Now 25 job applicants, which mean n equals 25. Okay, are randomly selected from the large university. So that's your sample size is 25. They proceed the mean. Okay, mean score is given and standard deviation is given. What are these mean and standard deviations? Those are based on the sample. So this one 183 is x bar. This standard deviation is your simple s, because they based on, I mean, I have already highlighted that highlighted part based on the sample. Okay, alpha given, but sigma is not given. So you have to test what? Test whether the mean score for students from this university is different from, see, different from a value. What is this value? See, the keyword is different, which means, right, different. Let me check. Yes, different. Okay. So as I mentioned, right hand side of this keyword always your mu naught. Left hand side of this one always mu. See, what is this 160? This one. See, this one. So that is your mu naught. Okay. Your mu is mean score for students from this university, because this university is your population. Okay. Right. You know X bar, you know S, you know N, and sigma. Yes. X bar minus mu naught. How do we find the test statistic? X bar minus mu naught divided by S over square root of 8. So you know this one, you know this one, this one, this one. Yes, you can find the test statistic. Okay. Okay, what are the steps? So it is different. You need to find the difference, which means it is a, since this is a different, it is not equal, which means two-tailed test. It's a two-tailed. Clear? So what are your H naught and, okay, null is always mu equals mu naught. Here, what is mu naught? 160. Okay. HA alternative is mu. This is a two-tail, so not equal mu naught. Again, mu naught is 160. Clear? Yes. Different. See, from this university is different from 160. Different. That's the keyword. Okay. Clear? Right. Step number 1, state null and alternative hypothesis. This is a two-tail. Identify whether it is a two-tail or not using this sign, alternative hypothesis. So it is a two-tail test. Then find the alpha. Alpha is given 0.05. Now you have to compute your test statistic, T naught or simply T cap. As I mentioned, use this formula, plug the values, and you can get your T naught like this. Okay. It can be in this case, yes, always positive. Sometimes can be negative. Doesn't matter. Right. Now you have to you have to select which method you are using, critical value or p-value. But to demonstrate this one, I'll use both approaches, like critical value approach first. So what you have to find, we need to find, okay, if I'm using critical value, this is a two-tail test. This is a two-tail test. Since this is a two-tail test, I know these are the two tails. Same area, these are the two tails. Okay. So this is alpha. Alpha is given. So altogether, these two values should be equals to alpha. So one side always alpha over 2, which means 0.025. Okay. This side also 0.025. Is that clear? Because this is two tail. Okay. Okay. Now, since we are using critical value approach, you have to find this value right here and the value right here. C values, not the P values or critical, not the area, just the T value. Okay, not C value. Sorry, T value. Okay, I'm sorry. This is T test. So T value. Okay, you have to find the T value. How do we find that T value? It doesn't matter whether it is a negative or positive. First, you have to find the T value. So T value should be T alpha over 2. Now it is T alpha over 2 because two tail, comma, degrees of freedom. DF. What is T alpha over 2? 0.025, right? Degrees of freedom is n minus 1, df n minus 1, n is 25, minus 1 is 24. Okay, go to the t table and find what is this value. Clear? Once you find this value, you will get the positive value. Since this is a t table, positive value assigned to this one and negative value assigned to this one. Values are same, positive and negative. Okay, see, values are same but positive and negative. Clear? Right? Now you have this value here. Compare this t naught with your t alpha over 2 values, with these two values, this one and this one. Let me find the value. Okay, it is 9.58. So where is 9.58? Definitely somewhere here, right? 9.58. This value is 2.064. So definitely 9 point something, the right hand side. Okay, which means somewhere here. Which means what? You have to reject. Why reject? See, why reject? Because this area or this area, those are rejection regions. Those are rejection regions. Okay, so you have to reject. See, t value greater than your critical value, so reject. Since this is two tail, it's going to be like this. T greater than critical value or less than the critical value. Critical value or less than positive critical value and negative critical value. Negative t alpha over 2. Okay, negative and positive. This means this side. This means this side. Okay, so we have to reject it, right? Okay, then finally write the conclusion. Okay, if you are using p-value approach, first three they are same. Okay, but the third one, since you are using p-value, this is what you need to do. Okay, let me draw this. This is two tail. So again, your areas are like this. You know your alpha, so keep it aside. Now you have figured it out what is your t naught. Based on this t naught, find the alpha value. Okay, find the not alpha over 2 or alpha value. Okay, how do we find that? Check this one. You already know, this is p value. Yes, already know what is degrees of freedom. Okay, so now, okay, first find the degrees of freedom, that row. So 24 row means last row, this one. Okay, last row. Now you have to approximate. Okay, because this is the reverse process that we have discussed. So what is your value? Where is the value? 9.58, right? 9.58. Yes. To take the relevant probability or alpha, or not alpha, delta, you have to find what delta value or what area belongs to this t value. T value is 9.58. Okay, but you know one thing, you have to stick with 24 degrees of freedom. 24, that's that row, definitely that row. Okay, So I have only one option. I have to stick with this row. Either value is there or not, you have to stick with that row. Okay. Now find the closest value to your test statistic value. Test statistic value is 9.58. Can you find a value very close to that value? No. See, maximum is 2.797. Okay, clear? Now, when you are moving from left hand side to right hand side, left to right, from here to here, what can you see about these values? They are increasing. 1.318, next 1.711, 2.064, they are increasing, right? So what happened? It's not there. But what happened if alpha value is very small, 0.001, something like that? Definitely you can see, according to this pattern, p value is large value. Last one, sorry, just before the last one, 2.492. Next one, 2.797, increased. So if you use this pattern, next one definitely above that value. After that, again it's increasing, right? Values are increasing. So you can find this value from here, that's the maximum. But you should know that after that values are increasing. So your value you can find somewhere here, but you don't know actual value for that one. So that you approximate, see, so you can simply take the maximum alpha, it is 0.05. Same as the previous case, you can find 2 times delta, and again you can based on that you can find whether your p value is less than that value, 2 times delta. So always p value 2 times delta. So in this case you have to approximate that your delta is 0.005. It's not the exact value. It's going to be a very small value than this value, 0.005. It's going to be like 0.0001, something like that, but it's not there. You have to approximate it. Anyhow, you figure it out, your delta, and then 2 times delta gives you your p value. So your significant value, it is 0.05. It is, if you consider p value as alpha, p value and alpha, you can see that alpha much more larger than your p value. So it's definitely reject. It's not. Okay, this is how you deal with. This is the only thing I think you need to learn. If t value cannot find in the table, most of the time, yes, you cannot find it. You have to approximate it. Okay, I told you have only 5 values, 0.1, 0.05, like that. Okay, any questions? I think this is, yeah. Did you understand what I was talking about? If you cannot find this value, you have to approximate it. Okay, you have to approximate it, but you should understand what is the pattern from left to right. T values are increasing. At the same time, what happened? Alpha values are decreasing, right? See, this one, next this one, they are decreasing, but the values, T values, are increasing. Okay, try to get that pattern. I mean, try to understand that pattern and approximate what you need. Okay. Okay. I think, yes, I'll do another example based on this next day. Doesn't matter, it's a bit complicated. That's fine. Okay, that's all about today. Let's continue this part, this section next day. Do you have any questions?